it's Zenyatta. Welcome back to another video, and today's video is going to be a review of episode 2 of 2.43, and I want to apologize, I only have half an hour to film this, if I want to get this up tonight. Alright, so some initial thoughts with this episode is that it was very good. I'll say that. I was actually found myself getting like super roped in, and I actually stopped and paused it halfway through because I had to make dinner. Didn't get a chance to finish it till last night. I started it on Thursday and today's Saturday. So I actually paused it, came back the next morning, watched it, and I got sucked into it right away, which is something that I actually have trouble doing. Is if I leave a show halfway through an episode, I tend to like, okay, I don't get as sucked in as easily. So I was very shocked at just how easily I just got drawn right back into the episode. Alright, so something that I noticed with the main character, Uni and Hajime, figured out how to say his name, is that Hajime kind of did a reverse Samra, and if you guys don't know who I'm talking about Samra Asian from Ace of Diamond, who went from the mountains in I don't know. It's like the western side of Japan, this is like the southwestern side of Japan, where Tokyo is like the central eastern side of Japan. And this is also in the mountains, so I just kind of found that kind of funny because this character did like a reverse Samra. So one thing that I noticed is that there's still a middle school in this episode, which kind of surprised me because like obviously it's called 2.43, Senior High School Boys Volleyball Team or Club or whatever you want to call it, and I'm just like, oh, they're still in middle school again. I mean, it's still really good. I'm just like, oh, okay. I kind of thought we were going to be done with that. And I'm having trouble trying to decide how old they are. I think they were in second year, and now they're coming into third because Japan runs April to March age-wise. So I'm thinking that is how that works. Because it's March at the beginning of the episode, and now they're in April, and then they go to April, and now they're in July. So they must be in their third year now. Alright, so now I'm going to be getting into a spoiler section, so I'm actually going to discuss the episode in depth now, and I don't want to spoil anybody, so yeah. So basically, we start off with Uni, kind of maybe trying to figure out more information about the whole incidents with Hajime in his old middle school and his volleyball team and the attempted suicide with the other kids talking about it online, and he eventually decides, no, I'm not going to look it up. I will judge him for himself. I will judge Hajime for the person I see in front of me. And the actual quote is, "Why would I trust some randos from far away have to say when you're right in front of me?" is what he says. And I think that's really actually kind of interesting, and I love that that's what he is like, okay, this is your past, but I'll judge you for the person you are now. And I love that. And I think that states a lot about his character, and I'm pretty sure he's the team captain for the team in middle school because he's wearing number 1, and something that I've noticed about all sorts of sports in Japan is there seems to be some sort of numbering system, and like baseball they use like number 1's the pitcher, like the starting, like the ace pitcher of the team. Number 2 would be your primary catcher. So I think that's kind of, I think that number 1 is always the captain in Japan. So I'm thinking Uni is the captain, and I think just the fact that he said, I'm going to judge you for the person you are now, really does speak volumes to him as a captain, and I just think that's kind of interesting, and that goes down to that deep of a thought. As the episode goes on, they start competing in their first matches, trying to go to nationals, because Hajime is like, I think we can do it. I think we can go to nationals. So they start playing, and their first couple games go great, and Uni's like, oh, we only, two more games, that's all we need, 2 more games. And the third game, he freezes, he can't remember how to serve. He's standing there and he goes, I don't remember which foot to step off with. And that happens, and it is stressful when that happens. I never played volleyball, but I did track and field, and I started track and field when I was in 7th grade, and I just remember this one time, it was my senior year, and I was standing in the circle, and I'm standing there, and I go, and I'm looking at my feet, and I go, which foot am I standing on? Which foot am I kicking back with? And it's like, it happens, and I'm like, you can be playing for years and forget how to do something as simple as that. And I just find that interesting. But because, and then with Uni being so, like, out of it, like, they're not scoring. So Hajime's like, okay. So he starts taking over. He starts doing setter dumps. He starts scoring off of what he can do as a setter. He's scoring. He's getting spikes off of receives that are put up in the air. He's setter, like I said, he's using setter dumps. And after the game, Uni and the other teammates, they're all sitting there and they're like, he didn't need us. He didn't need us. He's on a whole nother level compared to us. And then later on, Uni's talking of his cousin, and he goes, we did the exact same things that his old teammates back at his old school did. We sat there and we talked shit about him. And he seemingly feels guilty about it. And I think that, again, sets him apart as a team captain, if he is team captain, because he's willing to admit, yeah, we made mistakes. And I love that about Uni. Uni's probably going to become my favorite character in the show. And I'm interested to see more about Hajime and how he develops, because I really feel like we haven't really gotten into his head yet. Whether or not we will be another question. So my predictions for what's going to be coming is that I think that Uni and Hajime are going to have some sort of fight off of Hajime being not using his teammates. So I think what's going to happen is that Uni and Hajime in the next episode are going to come to blows over the fact that Hajime is not utilizing the other teammates, and we're going to have one or two more episodes of them being in middle school, and then after that we're going to see them in high school, and I'm really excited for what's to come, and I'm really out of time. I don't have enough time to go up into any more detail, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope to see you guys next week. Bye!